Hey, everybody, and welcome back for another deep dive with us.
It's great to be back.
So today we're looking at a topic that I think is super relevant for, well, anybody really, but especially entrepreneurs or future entrepreneurs.
Yes, definitely.
We've got this awesome new book called Financial Fitness for Entrepreneurs, 5 Bookkeeping Habits That Drive Business Success.
By Yemi Umuago.
Yes, by Yemi Umuago, your smart wealth advocate.
Love that title.
I know, it's great. So this book basically dives into really simple ways to kind of get your financial record keeping organized.
Huh.
And, especially for new and early stage business owners, it's like,
That's when it's so important.
yeah, it's like if you can set yourself up for success from the beginning, then, you're already
Absolutely.
miles ahead.
And this book really lays out how to do that. And it's not overwhelming
Right.
because I think a lot of times people, when they think about bookkeeping,
Oh, yeah.
it's just like, I don't even know where to start.
I don't want to think about it.
Ex-
Yeah. So she breaks it down into 5 kind of key habits
Yes.
that you can start implementing
Yes.
and really start to build that strong financial foundation.
Exactly.
And by the way, before we jump into those, we do want to mention that Yemi has a webinar coming up on April 4th
Oh, yes. Mark your calendars.
at 7 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yeah,
All about the book and, kind of going into more detail on all these concepts.
definitely.
So we'll include links in the description for you to register for that, and also a link to pre-order the book, and there might even be a discount in there for you.
It's awesome.
Oh, this book is all about making it simple, making it easy to actually achieve that what the author calls financial fitness.
Yeah. And what I think is really interesting is it kind of breaks it down into 5 key habits
Okay.
that are presented in a way that like you can really kind of get your head around it. It doesn't feel overwhelming.
So it's not just about, spreadsheets and software.
Right.
It's about these kind of like core habits, these foundational things
Yeah,
that
exactly.
you can start implementing right away.
Yeah. And what I think is so fascinating is the emphasis on starting strong, like building these habits from day one
Well, that's smart.
to avoid those bigger problems later,
Yeah.
you know?
Like digging yourself out of a hole, 3 years down the road.
Right.
Okay. So tease us a little bit. What's one of the 5 habits that we can look forward to diving into?
Well, the first one is all about separating business and personal transactions.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
Which sounds so simple.
Right.
But it's actually
Easy to mess up.
yeah, it's really easy to like blur those lines, especially when you're first starting out.
I'm so guilty of that.
Oh, yeah.
In my early days of freelancing, it was just like, oh, I need to grab lunch. We'll just use the business debit card. And
Right. And it feels like no big deal at the time.
it feels harmless.
But then when you try to go back and actually look at your numbers or prepare your taxes, it just becomes such a nightmare.
It's a tangled mess.
Yeah.
And, the book actually shares a story about an entrepreneur
Oh, yeah.
who faced a pretty hefty tax penalty
Yeah.
because they hadn't kept those finances separate.
Right. And it really emphasizes like the real world consequences of not establishing this habit early on.
Yeah, because you might think, oh, it's just a coffee or whatever.
Right.
But down the road, it can really bite you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so separating transactions, that's habit number 1. What about number 2?
So habit number 2 is being date conscious.
Okay.
Every transaction, no matter how small, needs to be recorded with the correct date.
Even like a $3 coffee?
Yes, even a $3 coffee.
Okay.
Because imagine trying to piece together your spending patterns, 6 months down the line when you're trying to like figure out where your money's going or you're trying to prepare your taxes and you have no idea when you spent that money.
Yeah, it's all a jumbled mess.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see the value in this. I have to admit, I'm not always the most date-conscious person myself, but
Well, and there's so many tools out there these days that can help with that, like using a banking app that automatically categorizes transactions by date or using a dedicated business credit card.
oh, that's a great point.
So it's not like you have to be meticulously writing everything down in a notebook.
Yeah.
There's technology that can help streamline that process.
And speaking of technology, habit number 3, what is that all about?
Habit number 3 is proactively saving information.
Okay.
So receipts, invoices, contracts, anything related to your business finances.
The dreaded receipt pile.
Yes, the dreaded receipt pile. But the good news is there are some amazing apps out there now, like receipt capture apps.
Receipt capture app.
Yeah, you just take a picture of your receipt and it automatically extracts all the relevant information and stores it digitally.
Oh, that's brilliant.
No more shoeboxes overflowing with faded receipts.
Okay, that's a game changer because I am the queen of the shoebox of receipts.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are.
Okay, so we got separating transactions. We've got being gate conscious.
Mm.
We've got proactively saving information.
That's right.
What's habit number 4?
Habit number 4 is daily journaling.
Daily journaling. Okay, so I'm thinking like Dear Diary, today I spent...
Not that kind of journaling.
Yeah.
It's just taking like 5 minutes each day to jot down your income and expenses.
Daily.
Daily.
Okay.
Because the thing is, if you do it daily, it's only 5 minutes.
Right.
But if you wait until the end of the month and you're trying to reconstruct an entire month's worth of transactions, that's when it becomes a huge, overwhelming task.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's about like making it a small habit that you do consistently rather than letting it build up and become this big, scary thing.
So it's like those little 5-minute workouts that you do that,
Yeah.
over time add up to huge results.
Exactly, exactly. And by consistently implementing these first 4 habits, the 5th habit actually becomes a lot easier.
Oh, okay. So tell me about habit number 5. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Habit number 5 is regular financial reviews.
Okay.
And because you've been diligent with separating your transactions, recording the dates, saving all your information, and journaling every day, reviewing your finances actually becomes a strategic activity instead of this dreaded chore.
Right, because you've got all that information at your fingertips. You're not like
Right.
having to dig through a mountain of paper.
Exactly. You can actually look at the data, spot trends, identify areas for improvement, and make informed decisions about your business.
And that's really what financial fitness is all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just about being organized. It's about actually using that information to make your business stronger.
Exactly. And, the book also talks about some of the mistakes that people make when it comes to bookkeeping.
Oh, yeah. Like what kind of mistakes?
Like simple things like forgetting to track mileage or, not keeping good records for tax deductions,
Right.
which can end up costing you a lot of money in the long run.
It's like leaving money on the table.
Exactly. And the book actually provides a lot of really great recommendations for bookkeeping software and other tools that can help you, implement these habits effectively.
So it's not just about the theory. It's like, here's the actual toolkit
Right.
to get this done.
Exactly.
So if you're ready to take control of your business finances and achieve that financial fitness that we've been talking about, I highly recommend checking out Financial Fitness for Entrepreneurs. It's available for pre-order right now.
Yes. And don't forget about the launch webinar.
Oh, that's right. It's happening on April 4th at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And the link to register is in the show notes.
Yeah, and there's a special bonus for the first 100 people who pre-order the book.
The 25% discount.
That's right.
So definitely take advantage of that. We've talked a lot about the what and the how of these habits.
Right.
But I want to leave you with this thought. What about the why?
That's interesting.
What deeper beliefs about yourself and your business do you need to cultivate to make these habits truly stick?
Yeah, because it's not just about the mechanics, right?
Right.
It's about your mindset and your beliefs about money and your business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as you dive into this book and you start exploring these habits, I really want you to think about that. Like, what's your why? What's going to drive you to actually implement these things and make them a part of your routine?
Yeah, what small step can you take today to start building that financial fitness?
That doesn't have to be a huge, overwhelming thing, just one small step and then another and another.
And over time, those small steps will lead to big results.
Absolutely. All right, that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.